The 40s.
4 days.
With Bryce, Zach, and
Patrick.
The 1940s had many interesting events, like the attack on Pearl Harbor, World War II, and the creation and the first use of the atomic bomb, which killed millions of people, making it a decade to endure and change the American dream.
Along with these events that began and ended in the 1940s, a few are still in effect in our society today. They include the creation of M&Ms, which everybody loves, the completion of Mount Rushmore. Completed in 1941, it shows 4 of the most influential American presidents, and can still be viewed today. The United Nations was also formed in 1945 at the ending of World War II.
This decade was huge for women because of the freedoms and powers it granted them, and they would continue to develop throughout the years. They worked in factories in order to make provisions, planes, and tanks for the war.
And what happened when the men returned home from the war?
When the men returned, women became more independent and could support themselves until marriage.
How about this for an interesting fact? For any viewers out there that buy bonds, during the 1940s, people can buy bonds that supported the war effort and earned you $6.25 after 10 years.
For all you TV lovers out there, the 1947 State of the Union given by President Harry S. Truman was the first televised State of the Union. And by 1949, 100,000 sets were being sold a week, although those sets were the size of a big box, not the average flat screens of today's. To add on to the experience of living in the 40s, we have created some artifacts to show what some simple objects and activities were like in that time period.
The movie Casablanca was one of the biggest hits of the day, but it's behind the scenes that really impresses me. In exchange for the government support for the movie industry, filmmakers made films titled Why We Fly in order to reassure weary Americans that getting involved in the war was necessary. The newspaper goes over some key points in the war effort, like the use of atomic bombs and the detainment of Japanese in camps during wartime. Although these actions were criticized, the Supreme Court ruled them constitutional during wartime.
This menu shows what prices were like during the 1940s and what the average person in America paid for American products. This Time magazine article speaks of the change in the American dream during the 40s. No longer was settling in a rural town or a big city with a huge family to go to. A small family in the suburbs with an independent woman became the standard.
Buy a car today. This article speaks to the general public of what was becoming a common entity. Compared to today's prices, it was a steal, but back then that was a large investment to make.
This has been BPZ, chillin' like you know it. Thanks for watching.